Totally. So, hey, lots of exciting stuff. I love week one. I love football. It was chaotic as expected, but we're back and we're better than ever. Little note here. We're going to move on to NFL week two. We have a lot of stuff coming out. If you haven't checked it, if you haven't seen our Twitter, check it out. It's somewhere up here if you're watching on YouTube. If not, it's just Statletics_. Easy to find. We dropped our NFL model projections, which are currently sitting at almost 60% hit rate on the spread this week. If the Bills hit their spread of -2, then it will clear the 60% threshold. So why not follow us? That's pretty amazing stuff. Drop our power rankings. We also drop our primetime matchup card that shows all sorts of information for primetime matchup games. It is currently 2-0. Hit on the Lions covering and hit on the Cowboys covering. And tonight we'll see if it can hit on the Bills covering. Again, all of that information somewhere up here. Statletics_. Pretty straightforward. And again, we have content coming out all the time. And we also have college football model projections, which we just revamped. But moving on to week two, we have a heavy slate, dude. We got a lot to talk about. Before we dive in, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Drop your favorite picks for week two. We love that information. We love scanning the crowd. There's a lot of diverse takes out there. Let us know. Let us know a spread that we need to be all over. Let us know a total that we need to be all over. And let us know a game or a sleeper pick that you might have for us. We would appreciate that. First game of the week. Vikings, Eagles in Philly. I don't know if you remember this game last year, but Eagles absolutely embarrassed the Vikings in primetime. This is also another instance of primetime Kirk. Can we get it?
Primetime Kirk is
primetime Kirk is dog shit. So this game, it's a 7-point spread for the Vikings. Do you think they cover? Do you think they don't cover?
No.
We saw the Eagles struggle a little bit against the Patriots, but I think the Patriots are a little bit better than what people give them credit for. Give me your pick here. What do you think?
Eagles, whatever the number is.
Yeah, I mean,
Eagles anything.
That kind of feels like the general consensus of this, kind of right off the rip. I will kind of lay down some numbers really quick. 47% of the bets are on the Vikings. 53% of the bets are on the Eagles. Here's where things get crazy. And I know we are recording Monday, 9/11 in the evening. 93% of the money is on the Vikings.
That's crazy.
So big money. I don't know if it's sharp money yet, but big money on Vikings covering +7 at home. I mean, at Philly. That is a little that raises the flag for me. That raises the red flag and be like, hey, something's not right. What's going on? This number's been bumped down because it started at Eagles -7.5 before today. So it's already been driven down by the public a little bit, or excuse me, not even by the public. The majority of the public's on the Eagles, but it's driven down by the money. So can we consider it sharp money? We can't.
No.
We can't know until later in the week if that is sharp money or not. But there's heavy money on the Vikings. Does that change your pick whatsoever?
No, it just tells me people are stupid. I have a. Was Rashad Penny a scratch?
I don't know. I haven't had the chance to go back and look at the roster news. I do know Kenny Gainwell got a heavy workload. DeAndre Swift looked kind of dusty. He dropped a pass, and then that was kind of it for him. You know, he got pulled rather quick.
Well, as far as running backs go, Gainwell had 14. All the other running backs have 1 or less. But I don't see Penny here with a carry. So I don't know. I mean, I was watching Red Zone. I was just like in zone. Good. I wasn't keeping track of any stats like that. But I almost wonder if he was a healthy scratch. But yeah, Gainwell dominated the backfield. Hurts had 9 carries. But they ran it significantly less than what they have last year, which is what we've been saying. So I still think that it's going to be more because the schedule is going to be more difficult this year, but a more pass-heavy offense. But yeah, they struggled against the Patriots, but the Vikings have. I just think the Vikings aren't going to be able to stop the Eagles. And I know the Eagles are going to be able to stop the Vikings. So I take the Eagles -7 at home. They underperformed to their standard last week, so they're going to come back ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see what they did last year to the Vikings and then not want to lay the 7 points. I think with it coming down, like if that money, if that 93% money drives the number down to like 6.5 or 6, I mean, you know, you could convince me that's a good take. I mean, I'm not laying anything official here. I would not touch this. This is a do not touch game. But, primetime Kirk, the Eagles kind of pissed off. I mean, they won, but it didn't feel like a win. All of them seemed visibly frustrated. This could be like I'm going to take out everything on the Vikings, all my anger from the last game. And it's the first home game. The Eagles dominate at home. And I mean, my goodness, I ran some NFL comps like for the past 10 games, and the Eagles are number 2 overall in rushing yards. They're number 5 overall in total offensive plays. They control the clock, and they're number 2 overall in offensive EPA in the previous 10 games. So, I mean, everything gives me every reason to believe that the Eagles easily cover this, especially considering that the Vikings had the 31st overall defensive 31st overall defensive rating in 2022, and they did not do anything to bolster that. Like, they did not sign anybody, they did not add anybody, they did not bring anybody on staff to make that defense better. So I think the Eagles could thrash the Vikings, but money's weird, That's all I gotta say.
I'll lay it officially. Official.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, I wish I believed enough to lay the beer bet.
Yeah, I mean, scary money don't make money. I'll lay the Eagles anything -7 or below.
Okay.
If it goes like 7.5, then I would, and that's like a completely different story. But
right, that changes.
Yeah,
that
7 or below, I'll lay it. A fish.
Okay. Put it on the board. There you go. Brenda's got it. All right. Hey, let's move on. Next big game. This one is interesting to me because I feel like we couldn't draw any sort of conclusions out of week 1 for these two teams. Ravens go to Cincinnati. Bengals are -3 home favorites against the Ravens. Both teams looked really subpar. Bengals looked worse, more so than the Ravens. But, I mean, gosh, both teams were very not sexy. We'll just put it at that last week. So my question is, do you think the Bengals rally, beat their conference foe by 3 or more, or do you think the Ravens can pull it out?
Look, the Bengals looked bad the whole time. The Ravens looked rough to start the game with Monken being their OC. First game, they got a lot of stuff on tape to look at. Pending Mark Andrews back, Ravens +3.
Wow. Okay.
Because it doesn't make any sense. I'm a feel guy. I'm a feel guy. I'm like Deshaun. I'm a feel guy. Yeah, I feel the Ravens here. We're both high on the Ravens, and I think the Bengals start 0-2, and everyone's going to cry. And feel guy. Andrew's back, Ravens +3. Andrew's not back.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
Here, I'll do one. Let's do the first beer bet of the year. We didn't have one last week. Let's do it, baby. I'm taking the Bengals -3, and I'm getting it before it goes to 3.5 because I'm looking at the money now. 50% of the bets are on the Bengals, which, that's a tie. So the public is even split right now on Bengals Ravens, but 66% of the money on the Bengals. I think there's some sharp money pouring in on the Bengals. I really like the matchup comp for the Bengals, and my projections also have the Bengals winning by 6. Yeah, 22-16. So that's what my projections say. Trust the process, trust the model, trust the money. Beer bet. Let's go, Bengals.
The first one. Do you think J.K. Dobbins does anything to affect the outcome of this game, him being out for the season?
No, I mean,
I don't think so either.
I think this is plug and play for this Ravens offense. Justice Hill came in and scored 2 touchdowns. Gus Edwards is there. Lamar Jackson still has his legs working. So now their defense, the Ravens defense, can absolutely keep them in this game. I don't want to discount the Ravens. I still think they're a great team. Obviously, we're both high on this Ravens team. We had some Ravens futures if you were watching earlier in the year, but I think the Bengals are pissed. I think they come in at home, their first home opener of the year. Trust the money again, trust the model again, and we got to have a beer bet. I got to put that on.
We got to have a beer bet.
Got to have
a I need Lamar
the total's 45.5. Truthfully, I mean, I'm like, you think over? See, I would say under.
Is that a double beer bet? I think so.
I think so too. I mean, put it on the board. Fine, we'll do it. Bengals under. BJ has Ravens over. Gosh, that's going to be a good game. All right, let's put it aside. That's a fun one. I'm excited for that one. Now, let's talk about two teams that can really make a splash here. Chiefs at Jags. Jags are plus 2.5 right now. Originally opened up around Jags plus 3.5. Chiefs disappointing performance. They are looking to get Travis Kelce back. This is right now the highest total game on the slate, right ahead of Seahawks Lions. Its total is 51. Let's do a breakdown of the numbers real quick. 79% of the bets are on the Chiefs. 93% of the money is on the Chiefs. Yet, the number for the Jags came down. Sharp money on the Jags. That's all I'm saying. Sharp money on the Jags. Now, is it worth taking at +3, +2.5? I don't know. I think I would have preferred to get that number at +3.5 while you could. But the thing is you would have to do that like before, week 2 was even complete. You would have to do that on Sunday or even Saturday before the first week of the games. So with all of that information, with all of that knowledge, Brendan, do you like the Jags or do you like the Chiefs? Let me hear it.
So I don't love 2.5, but pending another elite tight end being out, Chiefs start 0-2. Kelce's out.
Wow. Okay. So, side note, did you watch any of the Jags Colts game?
Here and
Not
there.
really.
Red zone. Red zone.
So I had the luxury of watching it because my YouTube TV is still stuck elsewhere on VPN. So my local game was the Colts. So I watched that game on the laptop while I watched Red Zone on the TV, and I watched the Falcons on my phone, the illegal streams.
That's beautiful.
Nonetheless, I got to watch the first part of that game, and I'm not going to lie. I thought the Colts were going to throttle them at first.
Yeah.
They dominated. The Jags they were in a bad place to that first half, and luckily the offense pulled it together. We kind of got what we expected with Trevor Lawrence's second year under Doug Peterson. They looked electric. Calvin Ridley, dog. That offense is going to be really, really nice. But they were in a bad spot. The Colts did have them there for a second. So that brings me a little bit of concern. However, this is at home, and the Chiefs they may get Travis Kelce back. They might not. Who knows? But with the performance of how the rest of their receiving core did, can we expect them to pace the play? Now, they do get Chris Jones back. If you haven't heard, Chris Jones just signed a 1-year deal, so he will be back on that defensive front, and he will absolutely make a really big difference in the Chiefs' defensive game plan. So he can create chaos, cause some problems. But, man, I'm kind of with you. I think the Jaguars would be a good pick. If I could get them at +3.5,
I would do that.
Which is crazy because, if you were wanting to bet on this game, wait. It is currently +3 on some big books right now. It's wavering. 93% of the money is on the Chiefs. See what it does. If more and more money steams on the Chiefs, the books are going to have no option but to raise that line. And I don't think they want to, because with all that money already on it so much right now, and they bring the number down in favor of the Jags, or of the Jags, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. So if they bring that number back up to +3.5, I'd snipe it, just out of good expected value. My model projections has the Chiefs winning by 4, but again, because we're so early into the season, a lot of this data is a little bit of 2022 data. So, um, again, we trust the model, but that's again 3.5. If I can get 3.5, I'm all over it.
Let me give you this nugget. So when Kelsey was ruled out, the spread went from, this is last week, Lions versus Chiefs. The spread went Chiefs -6.5 to -4.5 with one player going out. Like, that's 2 whole points. I didn't even know that would even be like possible for someone to do that.
Yeah.
And if Kelsey comes back, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 4.5. Serious.
That's crazy.
Which is insane. But if it's at 4.5, give me the money. Jags.
Give me the money.
Jags.
All day.
Jags.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. All right. That settles that. Another one on the board. Seahawks go to Detroit and play our Lions. Lions are 5.5. This line jumped tremendously. So Lions originally opened up as 2.5-point favorites before week 1. And then after seeing the Seahawks performance against the Rams at their own place, this line jumps a full 3 points. So that's a little weird. Something we want to note beforehand. Let's talk about some money. Right now, 63% of the bets are on the Seahawks. So despite their awful performance against the Rams, a lot of people are putting money on the Seahawks. 52% of the money is on them as well. Despite that, the number still sits at 5.5, 6. So what's going on here? Don't know. Couldn't tell you. Brendan, I'm assuming you're going with our team.
It's going to be a shootout.
Really?
I like a shootout here. I do. The Seahawks underperformed heavily last week. And I love the stats. Like, the Lions averaged 30 points a game, and average giving up 30 points a game last year was insane. And if I got to be honest with you, -5.5. Oh, if it's -5.5, I go Seahawks, even though I want to go Lions. I think the Lions still win. But if it's -5.5, oh, dude, I think it. Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
Detroit's in a dome, right?
Detroit is in a dome.
Oh, shootout.
And so using those numbers that we generated, passing yards allowed, 30th overall in the league, past 10 games. Offensive EPA allowed, 30th overall in the league, the past 10 games. Air yards allowed, dead last in the league, past 10 games. The yards per carry attempt, 29th in the league, past 10 games.
Is that the Lions?
Lions, yards per completion allowed, last in the league, past 10 games.
DK.
Dude, I mean,
shootout. Please give me shootout.
There was some, again, that's using the last 10 games. And, obviously there's some improvement from 2022 to 2023, but there wasn't enough to fill the gaps in a hole that big. Being dead last in the league and like a lot of those metrics is really, you can't patch that up with a few guys from free agency. So I kind of like your pick here, man. I kind of think that the Seahawks and the Lions could really be a shootout. I think this is going to be a potential over. Shall I do it? We never do point totals on this show, dude. We never do point totals.
What's the over under? 47?
50.5. So,
oh God, over.
It's the second largest total on the slate behind Chiefs Jags. So
I will say this. I feel like the Lions last week against the Chiefs played a possession game, and they slowed down and ran the ball a little bit to keep it out of Patrick Mahomes' hands. I do not think they will do that in this game. I feel a shootout, man.
Yeah.
Deshaun Feeler. I go shootout. I go over. Seahawks +5.5.
Okay.
Lions win. Go Lions.
Okay. So you think they win in a thriller? Okay.
Thriller.
I respect it. The one thing I wanted to note here, so the model has it as a 6-point game in favor of Detroit, so kind of right with Vegas. One thing that I do want to point out is the model attributes 3.5, almost 4 points to Seahawks when they're playing at home, and they deduct that when they're playing away.
Really?
But I think it doesn't matter when it's in a dome.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's Dome City.
Matter. Yeah. So, I mean, I like it. I'm not taking anything. This is a do not touch for me, but if you are playing daily fantasy, I will be playing daily fantasy. I want all the exposure that I can get in this game specifically.
Let me just add something really quick. Sam Laporta is him.
He is him.
He is him. He is their second wide receiver, and he's a tight end. He was lining up out wide. He was doing it all. He's huge. I think he was 5 for 5 for around 50 yards or something like that. Yeah. When they get him near the red zone, he's him. He's him.
All right. Moving on. Bears go to the Bucks. Bucks are -3. Beach. I know you got something cooked up for this game. Let's go through the numbers. 49% of the bets are on the Bears. Subsequently, 51% are on the Bucks. 66% of the money is on the Bears. But looking at it, looks like there's some sharp money on the Bucks. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's still sucking off the Bears. I don't really know why. But awful. From what I saw from the Bucks' defense last week, I don't think the Bucks being at home adds anything for the Bucks, but I do think that if it was at the Bears, it would add for the Bears. And the fact that they're away from home, I'm going to ride with the Fighting Baker Mayfields, and I'm going to play the Bucks -3.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, my model has Bucks by 2. Total at 44. So
yeah, I don't expect it to be high scoring.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not betting the total here. That'd be stupid. But if this was at the Bears, I would definitely be all over the Bears. But God, dude, they look awful. Justin Fields
did look really bad.
Chase Claypool I mean, if I was Ryan Poles, I'd cut Claypool. Dude did not want to be out there. Straight up. He looked miserable.
He's a diva.
I mean, DJ Moore, they didn't know how to use him. I guess they couldn't because they were getting swarmed. Their offensive line is going to struggle. So, I mean, I see why you chose the Bucks. I mean, it's tough. And it's at the Bucks. Home games always prevail, it feels like. Yeah. So,
I mean, the Bucks are fine. They're not going to win anything. But, I mean, they're not going to only win, 5 games. They get, 7,
Yeah.
And I mean, Baker's not good, but he looked like a game manager out there. That's pretty much all he was. That's all he is. And I have no logic to back this except for the feel.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's all you need.
That's all you need.
All right, moving on. Beach, your Commanders, 3.5-point dogs going to Denver. Denver struggled in their home opener. I thought they were going to beat the Raiders, but they still suck.
Let's
talk about some numbers. In this game, again, we already said Commanders 3.5-point dogs. The total, 40.5. It might move down. If I had to guess, it probably will. I would not be shocked if it goes down to 39. But 60% of the bets are on the Commanders. Flip it. 88% of the money is on the Broncos. So we have a mismatch here.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the public is on the Commanders. However, the majority of the money on the Broncos. It's a little weird. It's early in the week, so there could definitely come money. The line has not moved. So who are you taking here? Let me know why.
Commanders money line. Commanders plus 3.5 if you're a poos. But Commanders money line.
You think the Commanders get it done?
I do, man. I still believe in them. And last week wasn't. Look, it's growing pains. New offensive coordinator, Sam Howell. He started a couple games last year, but he's the guy now there. And Brian Robinson played pretty good, and Sandy Gibbs didn't play good. But I still think the defense is good. And Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson with Sam Howell being able to use his legs when he needs to.
Uh-huh.
And the Broncos being dog shit like we always knew. And just, they're so depleted. Brandon Johnson was out there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Brandon Johnson, the UT Vol, was out there starting for them, which is crazy.
Sure.
But anyway, yeah, Commanders money line.
Okay. Hey, this is a do not touch for me. I'm still not comfortable with new quarterback on the Commander side, and I'm not comfortable with a new coach on the Broncos side. So I will not be taking anything in this game, happily. It's going to be an ugly game, I think. But I see your reasoning. I think the Commanders are still a good team. I still think the Broncos can actually be a good team. Obviously, their defense is going to be one of the best in the leagues, so they have that going for them. So I respect it. And that's it. Moving on.
That's all it is.
Dolphins. 2.5-point favorites after their electric win against the Chargers last week. Going to the Patriots' house, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is another beer bet because I'm on the Pats.
No.
I'm on the Pats. I'm on the Pats. I'm going to do it.
Why?
I thought that the first quarter of the Patriots-Eagles game, the Patriots looked awful. I will admit that. But the next three quarters was the best and most comfortable I've ever seen Mac Jones in that Patriots offense since his rookie year. And that was when they won 10 games. I think Mac Jones is comfortable in this Bill O'Brien offense. I think they have a lot more doors to open in this offense. And, I mean, if they didn't have such a bad first quarter, they would have beaten the Eagles outright. I mean, everything was going against them too. So they almost took it to arguably the best team in the league at home. And so there's really nothing that's making me believe otherwise that they can't beat the Dolphins. I think the Patriots absolutely can. I think Bill O'Brien will bring the heat against Tua. So if their main coverage is really bad on the back end, I think the Dolphins have a field day. But if, they can get to Tua in time before he has time to make a decision and let Tyreek or Jalen Waddle get open, I think the Patriots win. And I really like this game. I would get the Pats number down, but Brendan, I know you are on the other side of this.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question to have you rethink your whole life here. Do you think that the Patriots can score 30 points?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you think that, then yours is valid. Because the Dolphins are going to. Or I think so.
And I'll say that because I think the Eagles, everybody sees them as one of the best offenses in the country, which is correct. But nobody will ever, some people do, but not many people talk about the fact that they could and potentially have the best defense in the league. They stacked up in the draft on top of already having one of the best defenses in the league last year. It was ridiculous, the talent that they have on all ends of the game. It's just crazy. So I think New England scoring, more than 20 against the Philadelphia Eagles defense, with as bad of a first quarter as they had, dude, yeah, I think they could be legit, man. Let's look at the Eagles last year, past 10 games, they were 2 overall in total yards allowed, 1st overall in passing yards allowed, 4th overall in air yards allowed, and 4th overall in offensive EPA allowed. So, yes.
That's the Dolphins?
No, that is the Eagles. And New England just, hung. They didn't do anything crazy, but did well against a defense like that. It only got better, So, and I also want to point out something before we get rolling. 86% of the bets are on the Dolphins. 71% of the money is on the Dolphins. The line has not moved. Give me the Patriots all day. That's it.
This another beer bet?
Soapbox.
Is this another beer bet?
This is a beer bet, baby.
Dude, we're gonna see each other soon. That's bad. Someone's gonna get drunk. Yeah. If the Patriots can score 30 points, then they cover. If they can't, they don't. It comes down to that.
See, I think I'll give you my score prediction. Go ahead. 24-21. Patriots win.
Oh.
Come on.
All right. I'm going to go with 38-27. Dolphins.
Wow. Okay.
Dolphins.
Okay.
38-27. And we're going to clip that when it's exactly that this week.
So you're a proponent of the over in this game?
I guess I am.
Wow.
Indirectly, yes.
45.5 point total. Brendan is on the over in a game that's in Gillette.
Oh, that hurt my shoulder.
This guy. Could be this guy.
Should be another good week, though.
All right. Hey, let's rapid fire real quick. We wrap it up for the games that we wanted to talk about. We want to cover the rest of the slate. This will be a rapid fire. Won't come anything crazy. This is not official picks. Disclaimer, not official picks. But we will finish off the game. All right, Brendan, 49ers go to the Rams. 49ers -7. They're coming up to -8 right now on most books. 42.5 point spread or point total. Who do you have in this game? Who covers and why?
49ers -7, but if it goes higher than that, I probably won't touch it.
Okay, I'm 49ers. I would even take them at 8, but, hey, it is what it is. Giants at Cardinals. Giants 5.5, 37.5. Who do you have in this game?
Oh, Giants at Cardinals?
Yep.
The Giants just played in a rainy downpour against, oh my God, that game was crazy. Giants -5.5.
Okay, Jets at Cowboys. Cowboys -3, just absolutely murdered the Giants. We haven't seen the Jets yet, so apologies to everybody listening. We don't have any information on them, but we can still guess. Who do you like in this game?
Jets. Jets.
Okay, I'll take the Cowboys at home. I think their defense looked too good.
Oh, you suck.
Commanders at Broncos. We already talked about that. Sorry. Okay, Saints at Panthers. Saints -3, 40.5 point total. Who do you got?
Saints.
Okay, I'm going Panthers. Yeah. Browns at Steelers. This game is going to be fun. Browns -1, 42.5 point favorite. This is the Monday Night Football game. Do you think the Browns continue to steamroll teams like they did the Bengals?
I don't think they steamroll them. I think they cover one.
Okay.
The Steelers can't run, man.
Yeah, they looked pretty dog shit.
Can't run the ball.
I'm on the Browns too. I just have to continue going with my preseason prediction that I think the Browns are a contender, which so far so good. Nonetheless, that covers it for us today, guys. We appreciate you listening. Make sure to follow our Twitter to see all of our model picks, projections, whatever it may be. Don't miss out on that. You can also have access to our Statlytics app link, which also has our projections coming soon to the app. And like and subscribe. Drop your favorite pick in the comments. We'd appreciate that. Guys, thanks for listening. Talk to you guys next week.
Balls -6.